Hi Year 2, I hope you had a lovely weekend. This is the next video for your work on poetry. Now on Monday of this week you are writing your version of Angelica Sprocket. So this is what we're going to be asking you to write later in the week on Friday. Now last week you looked in particular at alliteration and we're going to be adding to that this week and focusing on, it says here, EMPs, which means expanded noun phrases. You're going to have some learning on expanded noun phrases on Tuesday, so we've got some PowerPoints for you to look through. And the purpose of them is to help you add detail to the poem, because what we want to do is paint a picture for the reader so that they can imagine the different objects and items in your poem. So we're stepping away from Angelica Sprocket, so you can choose who your character is and what the objects are stored in. So I've chosen Bob Mac's backpack. Now, you can magpie from the original poem. It will make things a bit easier if you follow the structure. So I've actually magpied the opening of Angelica Sprocket. So I've written Bob Mac lives next door. His backpack has sections galore. Now, I want to include some alliteration. My poem doesn't have to have alliteration in every single line, but it is nice to include it. So I've got here a section for perfectly pointy pencils. And I've got here a section for tap dancing mice. There's a section for a dog and a section for dice. So I've rhymed mice and dice. However, I've missed here, if we look here, remember you're aiming for the green criteria, and I've actually missed creating a picture for the reader and the use of expanded noun phrases. Now my listener or my reader isn't going to know what my dog looks like. So I'm going to add in 2 adjectives, and remember you follow the structure of adjective, adjective, noun. So I'm going to say a teeny, fluffy dog. So it gives my reader a better idea of what my dog looks like. Notice as well I didn't use words like small. You've got the word mats that you had from last week again this week to focus on up-leveling that vocab and making it really exciting. Now dice, I could probably choose a colour. So I could do blue, and then I could do, well, what do dice do? They spin. So a section for blue spinning dice. So already I've improved that just those 2 lines by including my expanded noun phrases. Now poems are often split into what we call stanzas. Now you don't have to follow a particular structure here. We haven't done a lot of learning on stanzas, but I'm going to leave a line now so I can start my next part. Now, one thing I liked in Angelica Sprocket was when some of the objects were given a purpose. So they talked about umbrellas in case it started to rain. So I'm going to, again, magpie some ideas from that. So I've got an idea of writing. There's a section for wellies to play in a puddle. So I've kind of here changed the structure of the poem slightly. So I'm not just going again and copying this stanza. I've changed what I'm writing about. And then I do want to try and rhyme puddle. Now, this is important, guys. Plan your rhyme and plan your expanded noun phrases first. You'll be doing that on Thursday. It's going to make coming to write this a lot easier. You can't see my planning sheet, but I've got it next to me. So I've got my rhyming words and all of my alliteration planned already. So a section for wellies to play in a puddle. Now I rhymed puddle with muddle. Now muddle in the sense of feeling a bit confused. So I've said, and a section for hiding in, if you're, now this spelling of you're, remember you are, so apostrophe re, if you're in a muddle. And I put a little exclamation mark there. So this next section, we've got the rhyme, we've changed the structure. There is still an opportunity though, if we look back at the grid, for either alliteration or expanded noun phrases. I'm going to choose one or the other for each section. I don't want to overload and maybe put something in front of wellies and puddles, because otherwise my sentences might get a bit too busy. So there's a section for wellies to play in a puddle. So I think I'm going to go and expand puddle. So I can say a deep, could say blue for now. I might come back to that and improve that later because you are going to have an opportunity to edit as well. Okay, we don't always have our greatest ideas at the time, but what I might do is look back at my adjective mat and see if I can up level any of these further. Now, a section for hiding in, it means it's got to be a pretty big section if someone can hide in it. Now, I'm going to type big, but as we know, there's always an opportunity for better. So if I had that adjective mat in front of me, there was a word we talked about last week, colossal section. It's so much better. It gives a better idea of just how big that section of the backpack is. So please use this to help you. You can use this as a model. If you have any ideas of any ways that I could edit and improve this myself, please message me on Dojo and let me know. I'm just going to leave the grid up again, just that little bit longer for you to have another look at. Again, your main focus is on the green section. You can use some of your spelling lists that are on the website to help you. Use this as an opportunity, use letter join for your handwriting as well. But as I say, the big thing with poetry is the language. Your main aim this week is to paint a picture for the reader. And if you want to challenge yourselves, have a look at the section in yellow as well. We really have enjoyed all of the work you've been sending in so far. So please send us in your poems as and when you write them. Thank you, Year 2. We'll speak to you on Dojo in the week.